Do you want to be in control of your career? Do you want to make the most out of your job and your skills and even live a more rewarding, fulfilling, and progressive career life? You will, because you can. I am Karen Olege, a career strategist and coach. Welcome to this channel, Career Growth with Karen, where we empower each other to be more satisfied, more fulfilled in our careers. Please subscribe to this channel, like it, share with your network, leave a comment so that we can engage, and do not forget to follow me on my social handles, Karen Olege in LinkedIn and Facebook, and Career Growth with Karen in Instagram and in TikTok. Today's episode, we will be looking at how to know that it is time to quit your current job. How do you know it is time for you to leave? And how do you leave? So let's get started. This is Career Growth with Karen. So ladies and gentlemen, as I had mentioned, today we are looking at how do you know it is time to quit your current job. And of course, this episode, some of you have been asking me, how do I know it is time to exit? I've been talking about job hopping a lot in some of my previous episodes. And some of you are just asking, how do I know that it is the right time to quit or to exit? Now, this is going to be a series because I'm not just here to tell you quit your job. Because again, you're quitting to go where? I'm going to be talking about how you know that it is time for a change or a move, how to position yourself for the next opportunity. How do you get to the next opportunity? And once you get that opportunity, how do you actually go through the process of exiting where you are? So it's gonna be a 3-part series. So please watch each and every one of them. This one is coming to you this week. Next week and the other week we'll be having the following parts. So make sure you watch all of them because they are, supposed to be together. Yeah. So I will start with just telling us, how do you know it is time for you to leave your current job? How do you know where you are, it's really just time for you to move on? So the first way to know is when there is no more growth opportunities. There's no more growth. You don't see your progress in your current job. You don't see how, what's the next level. You don't know what the next level is. When you try to look 2 years, 5 years, 10 years into the job, you don't see whether there's any growth opportunities or any opportunities for you to be different or to be better. And such organizations is where especially you have reached the ceiling of your job. You have reached the ceiling. So beyond where you are, there is nowhere where you can go. When you realize that there is no more growth opportunities, you have to be asking yourself, am I ready to be in this same position for the next 20 years? Or do I want to move? Because at the same time, if you realize there is no opportunity for you to grow, then maybe you want to learn the most that you can and then start to prepare yourself for a transition to go somewhere where you can grow. The second thing is when there is no fulfillment, there is no satisfaction, you are unmotivated. Most of the times you're just finding yourself already applying for other jobs, already really actively job seeking. There is no motivation, and this could come from the fact that perhaps even there's no new challenges. So you're feeling like your tasks are very mundane. You have been here, you've been doing the same thing for so many years, and it just now starts to feel boring. It starts to feel like there is no challenge, there is no fulfillment, there is no satisfaction. You feel like maybe you are performing below your skills, like what your capacity is, and you feel like this job is not utilizing all of your capacities, and so there is no fulfillment. You don't feel that sense of purpose in that job. That is a good time to start reflecting on a change. The other reason is when your company is losing top talent rapidly. Simply put, when others are leaving, if there is a mass exodus from your organization, you have to be asking yourself, why are we losing top talent? Why are we losing them very rapidly? Why is it that our competitors are acquiring our top talent very fast? It definitely means that there is an imbalance somewhere. Maybe your skill is more marketable somewhere else. It could be paid more somewhere else, and that's why your colleagues are also leaving. And I'm not talking about that one staff or two staff have left. No, I'm talking about literally an exodus. Like, you can tell 25% of this organization has left in the past 6 months. And you ask yourself, why are we losing this top talent? Sometimes it is the managerial talent that is leaving, especially when you have the CEOs, the managers, the top leadership really leaving, then you need to ask yourself, what does this mean? Because that definitely means there is a challenge at the management level, and that will very soon catch up with you. The other way to know when it is time to leave is when there are no challenges, there's no new challenges, and learning isn't happening. You're not learning on your job. Remember, we already said that it's a learning process. You want to continuously upskill, to continuously grow in your role. You don't want just to stay at one place doing the same thing forever and ever. You want to be learning. So if there's no new challenges, there's no new learning, it's like you have reached the peak of your learning. It is time to consider a career move. The fifth thing is when your mental health and general health and well-being is being impacted or is being affected negatively. Of course, now this is a very sensitive issue. If your health for any reason is being affected, and it could be your mental health or just your well-being. And what do I mean by well-being? For example, now you're in a family setup. You are in a job where you're always coming home at 10 p.m., leaving by 6 a.m. in the morning. You hardly see your children as much as you live in the same house. You hardly see your spouse. You're working through the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. You hardly have any family time. This is actually a job that is affecting your well-being, because you need to live a balanced life. So how is it that perhaps you have other facets of your life? You have religion, you have family, you have all these things. You need a job that will allow you to balance all of those things. So if you find out that your well-being is being affected, or even your mental health, it could be whatever is happening in your workplace is really toxic for you, and it's getting into your mind so much. It's affecting your mood, it's affecting your happiness, it's affecting how you show up even in other areas of your life. And in one of the previous episodes, we talked about how to handle toxic bosses, where now you have this toxic environment at work, and it's spilling over into your family. You're spilling your frustrations into your family, your children, your spouse. Everyone now around you is sad because you are annoyed because of the toxic workplace that you are in. So where your mental health is affected, in fact, for those ones, I always just say you may just need to leave. Even when you don't have another opportunity, you may need to leave. If your general well-being is being affected, you also may need to leave. But there could also be other physical ailments. Like, for example, you have issues with your standing, and you are in a job that is requiring you to stand for so long, or a back issue, and yet you are in a job that requires a lot of movement. You need to put your health before your job, and tell yourself, no, I am going to exit this job and go and find myself a job where I can still be healthy and work. The other one is when you're questioning your company's ethics. So sometimes we just get there where you can look at what is going on in your company and you're thinking, surely, why are we doing this? You can see that some rules are being broken. There could be a little bit of corruption going on. Maybe you're in finance, you're in procurement, and you can see how financial decisions are being made. You can tell there is misappropriation of funds going on. You can tell there is embezzlement. You can tell there is lack of honesty, especially when it comes to how you're representing your product. You can tell that there is some deception here and there. When you are in conflict with your company's ethics, I would tell you leave. Why? Because you're going to get caught up in a mess if you continue sticking there. Any place that is not aligned with your personal values and your personal ethics, and you're questioning the decisions that your management are making in terms of ethics and morality, for me, I would say it is time for you to start looking for another opportunity. When there is too many changes in your organization, I know change is the constant. We say the only thing that is constant is change. But at the same time, too much change to me is a red flag in terms of the going concern of the organization. For example, if you have the CEO, there is very high turnover at the CEO, and I've talked about turnover at management level. You find that you're changing CEOs every 3 months, changing the MDs every 3 months. You got to ask yourself, why are these guys coming and they can't stay put? 3 months later, a CEO is gone, an MD is gone, your top leadership is gone. Every 3 months, they are changing the organization structure. You are now no longer reporting to this person, you're reporting to this one. This one has moved to this department. And it is rapid. Every 3 months, every 6 months, you're having those kinds of changes. Even just in the terms of the product and the industry that you're dealing. Right now, you are an IT company. Next week, you are focused on healthcare. The next week, you're focused on real estate. And many people have complained about the fact that they can't achieve their targets because goalposts are always shifting. So you find in a year you started maybe with healthcare project. 6 months down the line, you're told, no, in fact, now we are in real estate. 2 months down, you're now told it's a different product. So you are unable to do anything. You just wasted the whole year doing absolutely nothing, because none of those things really was the goal that we stuck to. In as much as change is a constant, you want an organization that gives the change time. for you to see the outcome in the change. If we have chosen to get into this market, let's give ourselves time in that market. Let's see what we get out of that market. Not that 3 months later we are changing to something else. We are changing to something else. And most of those organizations, they don't have a going concern. You stick there. In a couple of years, you're gonna see that the organization will be going down, because organizations don't just start going down like that. There is what happens, there is this instability, people can't make clear decisions, the founders are not very clear with their purpose and their vision and their mission, and so this constant shifting of goalposts can really leave you in a mess. And at that time, then you know that it is a good time to start to look for a change. Now, that brings me to the end of this episode. However, as I had mentioned at the beginning, this is a 3-part episode. So I've talked about how to know when it is time to quit. In the next episode, we'll be looking at how do you now start to position yourself for the next role. Because remember, you're not just quitting for the sake of quitting. Bills have to be paid. You still need to work somewhere. So once you have noticed and identified that I need to exit, how do you start to position yourself for the next role? After we talk about that, in the next episode after that, we'll be talking about then how do you do the actual exiting. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings me to the end of this episode. Please like this video, share it as much as possible, like the episode, comment on it, and let me know in the comment section what are the other things that when you look at, you know that this is a time to exit. Some of those that I haven't mentioned here, please let me know from you. Let me hear from you. Subscribe to this channel. Do not watch if you've not subscribed. Kindly check the subscribe button and make sure that you're subscribed, and in fact even press the notification bell. See you in the next episode.